Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome to the show. Welcome to another episode of the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Riverdale. We're back! After a few weeks off, we're back and we're so excited. I love this show. I've been counting the minutes. Frank Moran hasn't left the studio. He's been waiting in this studio for us to come back. And here we are. He's jacked up. He's been doing push-ups in the other room all episode. Guys, let's get started. We're going to break the whole thing down for you. I'll see you in a second.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I was so excited I didn't even introduce the name or the number of the episode.
No, that's
This is season 1, episode 8, The Outsiders.
Don't tell me what
Oh yeah,
to do.
this is that song from that commercial, right?
that's right. Yes, never been in a film. I have no idea what this is about.
What commercial?
That is
Alright,
on some
alright.
racing commercial. Guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV. We're talking Riverdale right now. We're back. We've been gone for like a month.
I know.
No,
It's been
2
a sad
weeks.
month. It's only 2 weeks. It
No,
felt like a year.
It felt like a month. It's been 2 weeks.
3. It's been 3. It has been 3.
It is,
Oh
but
wait,
trust
it's
me,
been
I
3.
know.
It's been close. Okay, so that's why you think it's a month. Yeah.
Yeah, my heart was breaking.
I've been counting down the days, just making slash marks on my wall.
Yeah.
And then crying.
So yeah, we're back, guys, and I gotta say, through and through, right off the bat, Jughead and Betty, I love it. I love it. I love
Also,
the romance. I'm
We're
so-
Buckhead fans. I think Sam's like that convinced.
No, are you talking to me? I'm the one that started it,
You
guys.
started the
Buckhead?
Buckhead? That was you?
Yes. Don't you remember when Polly came and we were all watching it?
Yeah, right.
And she was like, "You're into this." She's like, "Me too." She was like, kind
Oh,
of gave
I
me
know.
a secret little spoiler.
Right.
My bad. It was Joel. Okay, sorry.
I
Okay.
love Bughead. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love me
real-
some
real-
Buckhead.
I love Buckhead. Like there's some scenes you're just like, I'm like Cole Sprouse just get it. Like
He's killing it.
He can get it. Like,
Yeah, he's killing it, right?
I say it is really nice, but I also know we're still in the first season. It's going to end.
Yeah.
And it's going to be sad when it does.
You're dead right.
Should we introduce ourselves? The
Yes.
rest of
Oh
us?
yeah,
probably
we
should.
forgot.
So, guys, welcome to the show. We're going to break down the whole episode for you. And if you want to follow along on Twitter and share your thoughts, you guys have been great. We've been getting so much Riverdale interaction. A lot of questions, a lot of fan theories people have been submitting to us. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to start on the end with our number one fan,
That's right.
Frank Moran.
That's right. If you just feel these pecs, they've become rock hard through just, my push-up routine because of this.
dear.
Oh, no, Chae, don't ruin the illusion. I'm Frank Moran. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie. I'm amped!
Yeah, you're getting like all the gifs of Archie running. I've been tweeting at you, getting you jacked up. We got Chae Jones on the panel tonight.
Hey guys, I'm filling in for Joanna. I'm so excited. Like seriously, this episode is crazy. You can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram. This lovely lady.
Sam Davidson.
Hello,
What's
I'm
up?
Sam Davidson. You guys can find me at SamD43, Twitter and Instagram, and I'm in the live chat. And you guys have just been chatting for about 2 hours, so I'm gonna try to catch up. But just keep on doing it. I'll catch up now.
The East Coast feed on these shows, I'm Ben Bateman. You can find me at Ben Bateman Media on Twitter and Instagram. The East Coast shows for CW, we don't get the feed early. It like ruins me. I start getting all these tweets. I got like 19 tweets since 6 o'clock. They're like, "Are you excited? The episode's back." I'm like, oh my god! Like, not only do I not want to read this because I don't want it spoiled, but like, how did you get to watch this early? I'm so annoyed. I want to watch this at 6 o'clock.
It's true. It's just not fair.
Yeah, it's not
like,
fair.
why can't we just get their time like here?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Well,
Exactly.
One day.
Yeah, one day.
Maybe
So-
the second season.
Yeah, so we're going, guys. We're back in it, and we pick right up where we left off. The Polly storyline being front and center. There's like a whole baby shower plot that happened tonight, and like definitely this spun into some crazy broken home stuff going on with Hal. Like, man, I feel bad for the Cooper family. All of a sudden, the script flipped real fast.
I thought this is like the humanization of Alice Cooper for this episode. I thought it was great finally because she has been somebody that you just can't stand for the first part of the season, and this was finally you get to see just how she feels about stuff, and it was great to see her just kind of humanized in this.
Good actors too.
I loved how in like Jughead's opening, he called them the Stepford family of Riverdale.
Yeah.
And I love that aspect because like it always reminds me of Stepford Wives and just like it might seem perfect but it's not, and just
Right.
like that unraveling is like a present and you're just like you're enthralled and you can't wait to see what you find.
Yeah, especially because, they've referenced that. They've referenced the Hatfields and McCoys, and that there's so much history in those stories, so hopefully there's, like, enough history in these stories that could keep us going forever. Like, each family has different history with it, and it just could keep on going, which just makes me happy. Even though we're in our first season, I'm like, I could watch this forever and ever and ever.
There was like 3 distinct steps in tonight to like the humanization of Alice Cooper. It like happened in 3 phases. Phase 1 was Betty standing up to her mom with Veronica being like, no, this is what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a baby shower, and you can be there or not, and that's what's up. And Veronica was just like, what's up?
It was more like a proud mama moment.
Yeah.
I think for Veronica, it was just like, my girl's, she's
Right.
like, she's doing it. Like, it was
That
like a lot of respect.
That
like,
was 1. Then 2, right? The second part is when she realizes that Hal has totally screwed the pooch. That like that's what's really happened, and that like that's a bad phrase. I don't even know why I used it. Hal has like made the big mistake that she was not aware of, and she's like, all right, now I got to fight for my daughter to let her know that I love her, and then she loses. And Polly leaves, and we see the final moment where she's like broken. And I felt like those were like the 3 distinct steps of that character, and now we're seeing her in like a completely different light.
Well, here's what it made me think, too, that, you know, just like people are husband and wife, and then they have one name. But before that, the women still had another family and another name. So it could have been, you know, for instance, like Alice's family. We don't know who exactly they were before she married Hal.
Right.
So, like, they referenced a couple things about their past, but who were they? And she knew Hermione, too. And who was Hermione's family? And then she met, you know, Veronica's dad. Because I think that all goes into it, too, and it just, like, keeps on going back generations and generations.
Right. Yeah, I love how, speaking of the baby shower, like, one thing that I really enjoy in shows like this, and I reference the OC every week because it was the one that I, like, loved the most in high school, but, like, in shows like this where it's, like, a bunch of, like, really fun teens that all hang out all the time, it's, like, anytime there's an event, like a baby shower or a dance, every one of the characters is there. Everyone.
I love events on TV shows.
All of them. All the main characters are there, and then like somehow like the parents and the adjacent characters are like all there or like in like a nearby area, and they all like end up together by the end of the episode.
But it's like normal these people are at the baby shower. It's a baby shower. You're not supposed to be there.
You're like watching and you're like, okay, so Archie's girl from the Pussycats is here. You're like, Val's here. Like, I guess Val is friends with Polly, maybe,
Well, no,
but Archie's not even here. What's Val doing here?
No, it was the drummer. She was there too. She was with Val.
Okay,
The only person who wasn't there was Josie, funny enough.
Yeah, right.
Which,
yeah, where
was
Josie?
Where was Josie this episode?
She was off camera because they didn't want to pay her for the episode. No, just kidding. I mean, that does happen in these shows, though. Like, where everyone's like, is Cheryl dead? What happened? She's just not here.
But give it for Archie for not being able to read the room. That he just goes in, just like a blockhead, just walks in. Like, I gotta talk to you right now.
Like, dude, do you not see all these women, these people here? We're like, it's a shower.
He reminded me of like a robot on steroids this episode. He was just like out of control, like, guys, I'm so angry. And I'm like, hello, Archie. Use your emotions and not your lips. Like,
he loves his dad. No, I get him fighting for his dad. Like, I actually thought, without pivoting too quickly off of the stuff from the baby shower, we'll finish our chatting about here in a second, but I really, really, really am loving the relationship between Archie and Fred. I actually think Luke Perry's turning in some of the better acting on this show. I think he's had like a few really good scenes. And that scene with Archie tonight was the best scene in the episode, I thought, where he was really just saying, like, I've been laying brick and pouring concrete since I was your age. It's all I've done. It's all I am. And then I thought Archie's response was such, like, a fist pump, like, heartbreaking moment where he's like, what if I have a kid? And he's like, I don't want to do any of this music crap. I want to build houses, and I want to pour concrete. Wouldn't that be cool? And, like, I thought... Luke Perry's just really nailing it right now. I thought that was a great scene.
And everybody, Ben said it was a fist pumping moment. He did actually fist pump while he was watching it in the episode. He was like, "Yep," he did it.
Like, aggressive fist pump. Yeah, you guys know what I'm saying on that scene? I thought that was a great scene.
No, I thought it was. Yeah, you're right. Luke Perry seriously killed.
Yeah.
Just like his scenes and Alice Cooper scenes. I'm just like, the emotion was just like so intense. Like you just got pulled into it. Like you just like. Damn, you feel for these two characters. I think probably that was the first time we've ever felt for Alice Cooper this season. But like Fred Wise was just like, dude, my heart was kind of breaking for him.
Yeah, big time.
Well, because I feel like Archie's come across as so selfish and so self-involved for the majority of the season. To actually see him just step out and just look at his dad and how much he's done for him, it was just nice to see Archie acknowledge that.
100%. Yeah, it's like all he knows how to do is just like do crunches, just do crunches, just do crunches.
I feel like most of the parents in this episode there was a light shined on them. I thought they were all really, really good. And we'll get into Jughead later, but I mean, I thought that Skeet Ulrich was just amazing tonight. And I mean, Luke Perry too, and of course Machen. I mean, Machen, She's so good. I always say how good she is every week. I love her. I think she's the first like celebrity interview I ever did, like
Really?
in my life here at AfterBuzz, and I just like will love her forever.
Right.
But she really is good.
She is good. Yeah.
Who did you think was going to blow it first at the baby shower? That it was going to be the Blossoms or was it Alice?
Blossoms.
I felt like it was going to be Alice. I felt like the Blossoms are far too conniving. The Blossoms are like, they're like perfect precision with they're all like, you know what I mean? They like rarely lose, and it's because they're like so quiet and controlled because they have that advantage of like they have all the money and resources. They don't ever have to like be loud. They can like just hire the guy and stay in the background.
I think I'm gonna have nightmares. I'm not gonna lie about the Blossoms and their big home.
Yeah.
No, okay, so like speaking of loud, like I loved like in Alice Cooper scene, like she didn't like really yell. She yelled, but it was like more. It was very controlled. Like I was expecting like a get out, like a scream type thing, but she like. That contained emotion, like I will love her forever just based on that. Because I was just like, damn.
She's good, yeah. I think that the Coopers, like I genuinely think that like the conversations they have behind closed doors, it's like military strategizing. Like they feel like they're that aware.
Like they're Athena or something.
Or something.
Judge
Yeah.
your work.
There's like the that movie from the '90s, The Rock. It's like one of my favorite action movies ever.
Mm-hmm.
And Ed Harris in that movie has a quote where he's like, "We've achieved our position through precision, poise, and audacity. To this, we must now add resolve." And I'm like, that's got to just be what the Coop, what they say behind. I was like, that's how they talk. I'm sure, you know, like
That's her morning prayer.
Yeah. Well, Jared Scroggin in the chat said, "I'd love a flashback episode with all the parents in high school to know what happened to make them all hate each other."
I agree.
That would be pretty fun.
I think we have a really good idea. It's with the Blossoms and the Coopers. I mean, at least for where Hal is
But what about
concerned.
Hermione?
Yeah, right.
It's just that maple syrup, man.
Maple syrup. I loved in the scene where it started to go down at the baby shower, and like finally Alice Cooper broke, and she's like, "How dare you?" And she got in the face. It totally was like the Top Gun moment, you know, where he's like, "'Cause you're dangerous, ice man," and he's like, he bites the teeth. I was like, "Oh, she gonna do it?"
Yeah, she was like an animal. She was an animal. I thought she was going to do exactly that.
Yeah, like bring it on, right?
But was it me or was there like that the shot of the house, the establishing shot of that house? Did nobody else get like flowers in the attic vibes and like Mrs. Blossom is the grandmother?
Oh no!
Oh, at the end, yeah.
Like for real, like I was getting flowers in the attic. Like
What's flowers in the attic? I missed that.
Like,
V.C. Andrews' novel.
Okay.
Yeah, where these.
you've never seen flowers in the. It's on Netflix, so I'm gonna tell you right now. Watch the movie and read the book, but
Okay.
It's scary.
it's awesome. Oh my gosh!
It's basically kids trapped in an attic with a really sadistic grandmother.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like every childhood's person's, nightmare.
Right.
But like the brother and sister end up falling in love with each other.
Gross.
Is it like The Mummy?
It is, exactly.
What?
Tom Cruise is starring in it. In 2019, Tom Cruise is bringing it to the screens, guys. Get ready.
So we have this whole craziness that happens at the baby shower. Archie goes in full guns blazing. So let's jump out of that and talk about how that started. So first and foremost, Fred Andrews, he's going to start construction on the new property, right?
So deal.
Yeah, and he's ready to start, and all of a sudden he's got no workers because the Blossoms have hired every gun in town. So this is a real thing, by the way. I'm just going to say it out loud because I knew it as soon as it happened. I was like, it's the high school kids. It's going to be the football team. They're going to be the construction workers. And you guys were like, what, really? No? And then like next scene, it was like construction workers
That's
show
right.
up.
Well,
it's high school kids.
Yes, and I was like, that's okay. Ben knew that because he's like, I did that once. Could just see him there. Such a nice guy. He's like, I'm going to help.
The only surprise, shirts all stayed on during construction. I was like, this is, if you're going to go for it, if you're going to go for like one scene, like that's got to be the scene.
Hey,
right?
Jughead did
give
go
it
to
up, Jughead. Like great, like the little wifey. I'm just like, okay.
I'm like,
when'd you get
Jughead's the one
defined up
getting
in here?
naked.
Yeah.
Like when'd you get defined?
He
When
was,
did that
yeah,
happen?
he had good arms. I'll agree.
Like,
I'll agree.
come on.
Can I actually just tell you a quick thing that I realized the past few weeks is that I'm a huge Friends fan.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that it was Jughead, like him, like Cole and Dylan Sprouse, that played
Oh, the
Ross's
baby?
son.
Yeah.
You ain't
Ben.
never seen Baby Daddy?
I know I've seen it all
Big-
a million times, but my brain just didn't connect the dots, and my mind was blown about a week ago.
You mean Big Daddy, right?
That one.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I'm talking about Friends too. Like I just didn't. I don't know, guys. And if you didn't know either, that like so many people are Friends fans,
Yeah.
your mind's gonna be blown too.
I think I've told this story on here before, right? The comic book store I worked at when I was a kid.
But
So I moved here when I was 17. I worked at Meltdown Comics. This was like I worked
nice.
there for
Oh,
like
nice,
I worked
I've been
there
there.
for like 6 months. I rode a bike around Hollywood. My hair was this long. I went to acting school, and I was 17, and Cole and Dylan were 13, and they would come in and buy their comics every week. So I got to be really good friends with them when I was 17. This is 11 years ago, and I like would hang out at the store. We'd talk comics. I went and visited the set a bunch of times. Like we were really friendly. And then I left LA and I came back years later and totally fell out of touch. I haven't talked to him in like a decade. But like if we get Cole on here, I'll be like, dude, remember we talk comics every week for like 6 months when you were 13.
Don't you pretend you don't know me.
Really quick, speaking of friends, you know Jennifer Aniston was his first crush.
Yes, I did read that article.
Did you see he posted something on his Twitter the other day? I was dying laughing. There's like some old like Teen Vogue quote from when he's like 15, and he's like said something just like, I like a girl that really doesn't care about many things, who can exist without any makeup or like any whatever, like, and he's just like things you regret saying in an interview or something like that.
Okay, otherwise.
Yeah.
Anyways, to diverge back, but just fun story.
Sorry,
guys.
Cole's press.
Do you agree with Fred's crew? Would you put money over loyalty? I mean, because they just take it's a big payday for them, so they just leave. And Fred Andrews is such a salt of the earth guy.
He is.
Would you turn your back on him just for the payday?
It's 2 years though, like 2 years of work. That's like, I mean, guaranteed work. Like especially on this economy.
Yeah.
My family over yours a little bit. Yeah, maybe.
I just don't think like it's. I think those guys working for Fred were like, all right, great, this big contract came and we've been waiting for some work for a little while. There's this big job. It's gonna take us a little while, and they're like, or we can just get that money for 2 years guaranteed. And we've been waiting for the same thing. Like, what happens when this job ends? We don't get another job. I get that. Look, they all have families too, probably, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or they could have just took the money and still worked on the construction site.
Yeah, just do both jobs.
I mean, if like they don't know when it's gonna start, well, why not work and still get paid whatever Clifford Blossom's gonna pay?
Well, I'm sure it was in that contract to not
Like a non-compete clause or something like that.
Absolutely.
For construction.
That's right, non-build clause.
Yeah. So this all starts. The football team is the new crew. It's great. We got everybody hauling rock, and then all of a sudden Moose gets roughed up, and we find out later that it's these dudes that probably come from Hiram Lodge, and that's kind of a trip. So I sort of want to touch on both things. I want to touch on both Moose getting roughed up and what happens. Then I also want to talk about that final scene because it's a big cliffhanger. Who ratted her out? Who ratted out?
I swear, I'm gonna say Veronica.
You think Veronica ratted her out?
No.
Like called her dad? No way.
I feel okay. If it wasn't him and Veronica, and like maybe Archie knows, Veronica knows, and he knows. So like only 3 people kind of know for real. Who would tell him besides the Blossoms, maybe?
Or Skeet Ulrich.
That's what I said.
I feel like Skeet hasn't done it.
You know, like
I don't think he's done it either. I don't know. I'm just gonna say Veronica.
You think Veronica did it?
But I feel like maybe Veronica did
She's
it, but
a
not
daddy.
intentionally.
I don't think she did. I think because she's the daddy's girl. Like she really cares about what her father thinks.
Right.
Like even though like he's in jail, like yeah, she still cares. And I think to get in his good graces to be like legit, I didn't do this. It was mom's idea, and she's kind of seeing Fred, but not really seeing him.
Well, at the end of the last episode, actually, they show them calling Hiram, remember? And the collect calls connected, but they don't show us what was said. And so I don't think there would have been any other opportunity unless Veronica secretly like went to the prison, which she definitely didn't.
She could have wrote a letter
and told him. I don't know. I think that her and her mom have enough. Like they make deals. And she knows that if she were to break that deal, that there would be certain consequences. So I think that it's somebody else, and it's someone. It's not Betty, and it's not. I'm not really sure who it is.
What about Alice Cooper?
Maybe.
It's so funny because this show, almost every classic Archie character has now shown up in the universe, right? Almost all of them. Like we've seen just about all of the characters and their new, dark, actual, real interpretation of a person version. But one of the characters we haven't seen yet is Hiram Lodge. So all I keep thinking of is the way Hiram
Caleb
Lodge
Nichols.
looks.
You just keep on thinking about him, don't you?
Because he's in prison, and I'm like imagining getting the collect call. I just keep thinking about Jeffrey Tambor and Arrested Development. I'm just like that's Hiram Lodge walking around. He's like got a shiv and like a do rag or something.
I think something like you, like because you're like in a suit, like if you happen to like go to somebody looks like you.
You think
like,
he's Hiram Lodge?
No, like just like
I would not do well in prison.
Like attractive Wall Street businessman, always in a suit. So I feel like even if he went to jail, like he was trying to like keep everything still clean cut.
He's probably beat up so bad if that's what he goes in there with.
If he's still making deals outside of jail, he good. Like no, I don't like.
Maybe.
I have no like. So I think he's at one of those little fancy prisons.
You think he's like Kingpin in the Daredevil series, where he's like
no, like one of those rich like Wall Street, Wolf of Wall Street type of prisons that like they do tennis and cappuccinos and I don't know he's living the life in jail.
But I think they could go see him or get in touch with him a lot easier if that was the case.
Yeah, I'd be in because I know like they announced that Molly Ringwald is going to be Archie's mother. So I'm just interested because we still need to see Jughead's mom and we need to see Hiram
and Jellybean.
Right, but I mean the parent, like Jellybean, I'm sure she's cute, but she doesn't know. She doesn't know anything. She can't give us any information, or maybe she can actually.
Have they announced who's playing Hiram? Do we have any idea?
Not that I've heard of.
If it's Jeffrey Tambor, I'm gonna lose it.
It's not Jeffrey Tambor, especially after Transparent. You know, it's just like
I don't know. The guy's got range. So anyway, this brings us back to the beginning where all of the craziness starts, and they rough up Moose, and they go on this mission, and they head to this bar. They head to the Southside Serpents bar, and so a couple things we've now found out. First off, it was like, oh, Kevin's boyfriend,
right?
Joaquin, he's around.
Yes.
That's a thing. We hadn't even heard about Joaquin since the kiss.
Well, okay, I didn't. Okay, so either they messed up or they purposely told the audience that Joaquin was a serpent, and then we didn't realize that the other characters didn't know, because I knew that.
Yeah, we knew that.
We knew that.
Nobody, but I don't think to that point where they went to the South Side, nobody knew he was a serpent until that point in time.
But I thought they found out that he was a serpent, and Kevin was like, "Whatever, I like guys like that."
Wait, they really?
No, I think they knew he was a serpent. They just didn't know that
he was
Jughead's
dating.
dad.
I think they all know he's a
Right,
serpent.
but then they marched over to the serpent bar with him. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. I felt as though they acted like they didn't know he was a serpent.
Well, there's two things going on, because obviously Joaquin is in on the take, though he doesn't feel good about it, clearly.
I know, because he actually likes Kevin. You could just... You
Well, he didn't say that, but you
does.
could tell, right? Yeah, he really likes me, which is code for I really like him. But yeah.
Let me have my white Kev, okay?
Yeah.
Let me have my white Kev.
Okay, hey, I like Joaquin. I'm into that. I'm into that relationship.
Though I actually was
There's a lot of
surprised...
depth. Don't you look at me like that, Frank.
That's right.
Though I would say I was actually surprised Moose didn't have anything to say about that. I was expecting Moose to say something for some reason about like Joaquin and Kevin the other. And
Moose was too scared.
I think like Moose. I think that like that actually the whole entire like Moose experimenting storyline was maybe just like a shock factor episode 1 thing that they did, and they've just completely abandoned it since then, because I don't think it's come up a single time since.
It hasn't. Yeah.
Wait,
I think it was just in the pilot.
I thought he said like an episode. I can't remember what.
I think they've mentioned
he
it.
mentioned it.
Reggie
like,
made
tried
a
to
joke.
write him up.
I think Reggie made a joke at like the lunch table, maybe the next episode or something. He like, what were you doing at the river? And then everybody just like moved on. I think that was the extent of it. And it's 8 episodes in. I think we've heard like a single other word about it, other than just Moose getting beaten up.
No, we did. Like he told Veronica that he's like still experimenting and he doesn't want to come out, so he's kind of not really trying to deal with it, even though Moose still calls him.
Right.
So like there was but right. We'll just keep on.
Sure.
There's talk.
Not Moose getting beaten up, by the way, that has anything to do with
this conversation.
Moose. Yeah, I'm just talking about that's like the most prominent thing that's happened to Moose, I think, since like the 2nd episode.
Yes.
Right? He's like pretty much hasn't been in the show. So, anyway, moving on to the next bit of this, though. So, they head to the bar, and Archie's just like Mad Dog. He's Mad Dog Grimes. He's trying to pick up fights.
It's like whatever, because I like Joaquin says, just don't make direct eye contact, don't linger.
Yeah.
And what does Archie do? Just like, I'm going to grab somebody by the shoulder, even worse than making eye contact, and spin him around. That'll go well, Archie.
But then when he did that, someone said, "Oh, a boy like you came around here too." And like again, it's the Jason Archie connection.
The Bulldogs, yeah, right? He's like, the Bulldogs are always coming around here trying to start trouble. Yeah, we're just finding out more and more, like, Jason just, like, wasn't that good of a dude, it seems like. It seems like Jason was doing some pretty bad stuff.
I don't know if he was necessarily a bad dude, but just, like, it seemed, because it did seem like he was doing this as, like, a side gig until Polly was talking to the sheriff and said, no, it was just a one-time only deal.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like we just continue to find more and more things out that it's like, I just don't know if he was on the up and up all the time. It seems like the thing with the book and Polly, that's how they met, and then she gets pregnant. Yeah,
that's more of like a small town boy thing. I'm not gonna say an all boys thing. I feel like
really?
the whole book thing was just like something they did to amuse themselves because they're in a small town and they like are kind of like gods ish in this town they like live in.
Right.
And I feel like the whole drug thing was like the one. I really do think it's like maybe a one time thing. Like he can't get cash from his parents, obviously.
Right.
So what's the one thing you can do? Go to a biker gang, make a job, get quick cash, and then duck out of town.
Jeez, if I needed to make money in LA, I don't know if I would go try to track down a biker gang and sell drugs. That seems like a real good way to get. I mean, maybe. I guess I've never been so hard up for money that I needed to like track down the Southside Serpents and run drugs for them. But like,
if it were Skeet Ulrich, I'd be like, "So what do you want me to do?"
What are you doing Saturday?
I mean, no,
Yeah.
personally, you're a girl, so you more,
idea.
I think they more make you like a biker chick groupie person.
Whatever, I'd sell drugs. I'm just kidding. But what I wanted to say...
This is getting so dark.
I'd sell drugs. Just a joke. No, I would not. But I do think that the Southside Serpents, like, they have kind of different factions in them. And I thought that bar was really cool. And I loved that he came down, Jughead's dad. What is it?
FP.
FP. And I keep on wanting to be like FU, F, no, like
Right.
FP. He comes down like it's his own.
Yeah.
And he's just like, everybody's like the big lion of the entire thing. Everyone listens to him.
Right.
But what I thought was completely fascinating, though, was that, again, the connection between Archie and Jason. And I don't necessarily think Jason was trying to do something wrong. I think that they're trying to make us think that he was bad and now he's good. But the Polly thing is worrying me. I think that Polly is being a little bit too Pollyanna.
You think she's playing a little too damsel in distress? Like she's playing a little
Yes.
too innocent? Because what I was saying tonight was that her like shows of emotion feel like a little cardboard in some of those scenes, and
The rest of it's so good. Like everyone is so good.
Exactly, and she has moments, and it doesn't feel. If you think about it in the context of what you're saying, it doesn't feel as much like it's like obvious. It feels almost like she's acting for us. Like she's like we're supposed to know she's acting in those moments or something like that. Like she's selling it really hard. I don't know. That's definitely something I pick up on. Like it just could be that. Maybe she is in on it more than we know.
I can agree, only because I feel like, why else would you choose to go to Thornhill? Like, you say
Right.
it's for the good of your baby, but at that particular moment at the end of the scene, I was just like, you have to be playing an angle. Because you know damn well these people are trying to take this baby away from you.
Well, there's a few people in the chat that have said I think the grandma's hiding something, and now that I think about it, Cheryl was just like, Grandma, go buy the food. Just pushed her away to the food.
Or she's like dementia and
And she already did reveal one
Right.
secret to, Betty a couple weeks ago about the ring and everything.
Yeah, big
So
time.
I think the grandma might be, but she's still senile, but I think she has information with her.
She's also and she had her like crazy her dark crystal.
That's right.
And there's twins.
Twins!
You think she's carrying twins? She probably is.
It
Now
usually
they said
skips generations, but I mean, I'll give it to Riverdale. Like,
Sure.
I'll let it happen.
Somebody in the chat, Charmed Original, said, what if Joaquin is Jughead's half brother and they don't know it yet? Which I found just interesting theory
Okay.
in itself.
Yeah.
Because like
That's steamy.
like because I was kind of looking at like Joaquin, I'm looking at like FP, I'm just like I can see it though. I'm not gonna trip. I can actually
Sure.
see it.
FP.
They both have like long, stringy hair, and they're a bit emo.
Yeah. I think Cole Sprouse is slaying it in this show, by the way.
Yeah.
Loving
I think he's doing a really
him.
good job. I think it's one of those funny things where like any time that you have somebody like that who was a child actor for so many years on so many episodes of TV, they get older and it's kind of like you either you can tell they're not good, or if they have something, they have done so much of it that their timing, especially their comic timing, is usually just like perfect because they've hit, like he hit his marks on Sweet Life for what, like 6 years or something like that, 20, 30 episodes a year. Like that guy has more experience than the entire rest of the teenage cast put together. I mean, like there was that line when she's like, I know this isn't your scene, and he's like, what, baby shower? You know, it was on my bucket list. Like just his delivery of the whole line, I was just like, this guy is just like, he's got it.
I love the way he carried it in though. It was just like
Yeah, right.
It was like not important, just like have it, but like it just and then I'm gonna dump it here on top of this table.
Yeah.
And everything's great.
Yeah, I'll bet you in real life these days, because I haven't seen him in a decade, he's probably like a cool dude. I'll bet you he's just like kind of funny like that.
Okay, so I just want to bring up something again in the chat, just going back to the grandma thing, because people brought it up, and I don't know, there's all this talk of Sabrina. They think that Sabrina could be the grandmother somehow.
What? Okay. Come
There's
on,
been
guys.
a bunch of people that have said that.
Sometimes you just got to dial it back.
But
sometimes.
what if...
Well, she got a time travel machine.
No, okay, but what if, like, the grandmother is part of, like, Sabrina's witch clan or something, and because the crystal is kind of an Easter egg, I think, for us.
The Dark Crystal?
Yeah, to, like, go into, like, witchy kind of things.
Right.
So I don't think she's Sabrina, but I think she could have a connection with the witches, which don't exist to as far as we know.
Sure.
But I think they do.
Fair enough. Have we even been on this show, by the way, since I met Sarah Habel? Have we talked about this yet?
No.
What?
Miss Grundy?
No.
Oh, yeah, yes, we have. Yeah.
We did come on the show?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
just forgot how long it had been since that. That just like occurred to me.
Oh
'cause-
yeah, she's got to come back.
Yeah, she has to come back.
Even though I hated her, I'm like, go away. Now I'm
no,
like, come
that's
back.
wrong. It's wrong to hate her.
What I'm liking about the Betty and Jughead scenes is anytime they mention them as a couple, they always do that cutaway to Archie. To have him
Yeah.
just kind of like,
Yeah.
how I feel
No,
about this.
Archie's face
I know.
was the best. Like, so it's just like a boyfriend, and like they went straight to his
Yeah.
face, and then Veronica's like, it's just a word with a B in it, okay?
I just like I know it makes I feel silly, but like I just like smiled when she said it. I like it. I just love the teen romance aspect. I love the boyfriend title. It's high school. You guys have been dating for like a week. It's like, but it's like yeah, in high school that's how it goes. Sometimes we're gonna throw the title, and Veronica's like, don't fight it. And it's like from here on out, that's what's going on now because I just labeled it.
Yeah, Veronica
Done.
crowned them as a couple, and they just totally went with it.
They're like, she's like joking. They're like, oh, okay. Well, I
Awesome.
guess we are now.
Somebody in the chat had like a new nickname for them, so Jetty.
Jetty? I still like Bughead.
I like Bucket. I like how Jetty rolls off your tongue though.
I mean, if you want to be in the Jetty camp, be my guest. I
think you're alone on that one.
That's fine. I'll still say Buckhead. I just like the fact that they said Jetty. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, you're way off the reservation on this one, Chae.
All you get is that.
So I think
I'm real mature, guys.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else major. I think we wrap it up with the Serpents becoming the new crew and this conversation between Joaquin and FP, where he's basically like, everyone's got their part to play. I know I do. Keep doing your thing. We need the line on the sheriff. But then like, it sucks because you're like, okay, is FP working as the foreman with his crew? Is that part of his role to play, as he says? Is it like part of his plan? Or is he actually doing both things, trying to do a solid for his buddy, his old buddy, and also like working everybody over? I kind of feel like it's got to be part of his plan. I can't see how it wouldn't be.
I think it's both.
He
I
sees
think
an angle.
like maybe like a third of him is like really, I want to redeem myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially because he took in my son, blah blah this. But 2/3,
Right.
I'm protecting myself.
I'm all messed up because I just think he's so sexy and I believe him all the time.
Right.
Just like Neve Campbell did in Scream, and then he tried to murder her. And then at the end, I was like, whoa, he messed, I was wrong. He's a jerk. I think he could have killed Jason, or he knows who killed Jason, and that he does not have good intentions towards Fred Andrews.
Pretty much the way I see this. Oh, go ahead.
I think he still has good intentions towards Fred, but he definitely does have something to do with Jason's demise.
I think like Fred is like the good dude, and I think FP just continues to go down like the darker and darker path. Like he's pretty much the way I see it is that he's Darth Vader, and by the end of it, he's gonna be like all tattered and burnt and have like the fake suit, but he'll have a little bit of humanity left, and then he'll sacrifice himself to kill the Emperor to save Fred. In that one moment, he'll turn. He'll show that he's still a good dude. So the question becomes, who's the Emperor? Who does he have to save Fred from? Is it Hiram Lodge?
So are you seeing Fred cradling him at the end? Right there in the Death Star as everything's blowing up? Take off my mask.
Maybe.
Take off my mask.
Take off
I
my
want to see
mask.
with my own eyes.
Yeah, right. I want to see you with the voice. Yeah, okay. I want to do the voice. I mean, maybe that might happen. I'm just saying, I get the feeling that he's just getting darker and darker and descending into like horrible madness. But like, I do think he will eventually like save Fred. I mean, that's not really going to happen. There's going to be any death in this like that so
You're
early.
going to see FP on a funeral pyre at the end being lit by
And the ghost of Skeet Ulrich from Scream, a younger Skeet Ulrich.
Someone in the chat just said, I think that Neve Campbell should be Jughead's mom.
Yeah, I was
That'd be
gonna say
good.
that. I was like, I support that Scream reunion, please and thank you.
The
No.
ghost of David Arquette saying, "What are you doing here?"
It's like Dewey just never goes away. He's always there. But I don't know. I kind of think that he does have humanity, but I think that it's going to be Jughead that he is going to end up perhaps he's going to try to save his son. And he's really the only person that he cares about.
Yeah, it does seem like that would be the more of the move, and that would be much more in line with actually Star Wars than saving Fred Andrews.
But I also feel like he knows by helping Fred. I mean, if he just screwed Fred over, that definitely puts a wedge between him and Jughead.
I think that's why I say, I mean, I use that loose metaphor, but like I think he is slowly but surely going down a path to screw Fred, even though he knows it's not really what he wants to do. I think every angle he's going to take is going to screw him, because like it's all going to be doing dishonest stuff. It's all going to be like possibly working with Hiram, or like keeping information from Fred, or like having his crew work on the books, or like letting him down. Like I just think that in one way or another, that guy's not to be trusted. But I do think the moment's going to come through where he does show that he is actually a good dude and he cares, but it's going to happen way down the line after he's made some big mistakes.
I forgot. Jughead mentioned this to Archie when they're talking about like war is hell, and like he's like hell is other people.
Yeah.
Like that just legit just resonated with me for some reason.
Yeah.
Like that line, just like I can feel that. Like that makes a lot of sense.
Well, when they were playing that video game, because Jughead was complaining that Archie kept killing him, I thought that's just Archie just shooting him because he's dating Betty.
Right?
That's it.
Basically,
That's it.
like I'm mad at you, but I can't say I'm mad at you because I'm still your friend and or brother. So this is the only way I can get out my aggression in a healthy way.
So the last thing we didn't talk about, actually, I just remembered, was the stuff with Hal and Alice at the end. Because there's a couple lines in there during their argument that are like pretty important. And one of them is when she says, it's exactly what you said to me. And he's like, well, you weren't ready. And neither is she. And then she says, I don't care what people think of me. I think by now you know what I'm capable of. So what does that mean, right? That sounded a whole lot more like she had something to do with Jason's death.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I subscribe because like as soon as she said, I was like, "What the hell did you do?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what I thought at all.
What do you think?
I thought that she had done something to somebody else when they were younger. Kind of like, you know what I'm capable of. It almost felt like a thing that was years back.
Yeah.
Not the Jason thing, but something that, because, they talk about, I think they allude to, he made her have an abortion. I'm assuming before she had Polly. Did you guys, is that what you thought too?
Yeah, definitely picked up on that.
I feel like either she had an abortion or she lied about having an abortion to him and just had it anyway and kind of like secretly adopted that thing that way so like he would never find out.
But
or like it's like she like her doing something, what I'm capable of. She did something to protect him in the past. I actually kind of agree with that. Like maybe she did something to help protect him that was sinister, criminally.
There's a dark secret that we're gonna find out, and I think we should get into predictions to try to figure out what it is.
And the one last thing about Hal is it's definitely. Certainly Alice is no big fan of the Blossoms, but with Hal it's just like born in the blood.
Right.
Because like he was just so adamant that he was never going to have somebody that was like of Blossom
It's
blood
like
in their
tribal.
house.
It's like straight up tribal.
Yeah.
100%.
I think it's straight up like, dude, like get over it. You can have your own life now. Like your parents are probably not here no more. Like do your own path.
What an effed up thing to say to his daughter too. I'll make you an appointment. I'll pay for it. Don't worry about it. I got this. Let's go kill your baby.
Personally, I would have slapped him. Alice was kinder because she pushed him. I would have slapped you.
Yeah. Right. I was like, so he's out. So now he's gonna be staying at the Motel 6. That's gonna be a thing.
Or his office at the newspaper.
Right. Or in White Chicks too, maybe.
Yeah, he's just waiting for the Wayans brothers to come back. He's like, I'm ready.
He's gonna take some of her panties with him,
Yeah, right.
Oh God.
No.
I had to. It was right there, man.
Yeah. What do you guys got for predictions? My big one I voiced already. It's my big one is I think the Darth Vader turn. I mean the very loose Darth Vader turn.
If we see a lightsaber in the next episode, I'm gonna lose my mind. We see FB like slowly building one. I need to build my own.
Yeah.
Man, well, I feel like I'm curious to see how it goes with Polly. Are the Blossoms going to be just kind of really nice until the baby's born and then pull the rug out from under her? I feel like it's not going to end up well for her in that house.
That could be in the finale, in my opinion.
But the big question is, like, is Cheryl going to side with Polly and realize how screwed up her parents are and try to help Polly out of that situation, or is she going to just kind of fold under the pressure of her family and side with them?
Yeah, I kind of do think there's a chance that maybe, like, in the finale and, like, the big closeout moment after she's had the baby and, like, everybody's, celebrated and she's recovering or whatever, you're going to get some, like, slow-mo sort of montage with, like, dramatic music where, like, the Blossoms are basically wrapping up the baby to steal it. You know what I mean? And
Or
you're
wrapping
like,
up
"What's
Polly's
going-"
body. They're just like killing her.
Yeah, something. Just straight up, just butcher knives. What? Where's this going? Anything else from you guys?
I actually believe that. Two things. So, because next week's episode, Archie and Cheryl and like Billie Jean Girl 24 was like, Archie is such a man whore. He has like gonna cheat on Val. In the next episode, he's an idiot, and I actually agree with that. Either you're gonna cheat on her, and I don't know you can blame Veronica for the first episode, but who are you gonna blame about if you kiss Cheryl and you're dating Val?
Well, can we just talk for a second about the term cheating? If it's like there's no label thrown on the two of them. We've seen like they've kissed like 2 times, and they had like 3 or 4 scenes together. And it's a span of a couple weeks in high school. Like they definitely seem to be hanging out, but like.
They jammed together, Ben. They jammed together.
No, I'm not saying that it isn't
They've
cheating.
been on
I'm
dates,
just saying.
right?
I'm just saying. Now we've got a label with Jughead and Betty. So like now, if Jughead was to kiss another girl, it would be like that's you're cheating because we've put a label on it. It's just a B word. I feel like with Archie and Val, I'm a little less clear about exactly what's going on.
Archie isn't into monogamy, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hence the comics.
Well, I'm sorry if I'm Val and like if we're like even if we're just seeing each other, even though, like I expect at least you to let me know before you go off and do something stupid that I have to find about later because I feel like Val's gonna find out later, and Archie's gonna get slapped and like
Archie's
really not gonna.
way too selfish to let her know. That would never happen. It's high school.
Cheryl's not.
Yeah.
Cheryl would just make it easy.
Yeah, she's gonna take advantage.
Although she's a big fan of the Pussycats, so why would she deliberately want to rub something in? Because that's only going to irritate
Because
Josie
no,
as
but
well.
she's close to Josie, not Val. So I mean,
Well, by extension.
Power. She gets power somehow out of this. Sam, what do you got?
Okay, so I hate to say this because I hate it when incest is involved in anything, but I think some of these
It's
parents...
a bold statement to make, Sam.
But listen, guys, I think that some of these parents have, like, had sex with each other and have perhaps maybe had babies with each other, and that's why they're all so freaked out about them hooking up. Because they're like, oh, God.
There's the tipping point for inbred. Yeah.
Wow.
No, no, no.
Oh no! And again, I also think Polly. They didn't really explain why she didn't move home. It seemed. Okay, listen, guys. I'm gonna be right.
Keep going. Keep going.
I think that Polly is not as innocent and dumb as she seems, and that maybe moving into the Blossom Mansion will be a revenge of sorts.
Well, I mean, certainly seeing just like even from the beginning of the episode where they're taking the photos, and Alice does the thing where she just the annoying thing of just tapping the chin.
Yeah, right.
But I feel like that's just a lifetime of growing up in that environment.
Right.
And so no matter how much Alice is going to try at the end to say, "I'm so sorry, things are different this time," I'm sure she's, I can understand why she's going to at least try something different.
Yeah, and Billie Jean 24, I don't know if I agree with this, but it's interesting. She said, Polly isn't thinking straight. She's pregnant. And did you notice that her pregnant belly disappeared sometimes?
Yeah, it's definitely. I have noticed it's in and out.
a little bit.
Yeah, it's in and out.
My prediction, because I actually agree with you. I think like the Blossoms are gonna legit steal that baby
Yeah, I
once
think
it's
so.
born. There's no doubt in my mind. At least even if it's not the Blossoms, somebody's stealing them babies.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
The devil.
Or sacrificial lambs up in here.
The reason I was dying laughing when you started talking about incest was I just, not because in any way that topic in real life is funny at all, but on television, incest is like one of those things where like, we need to spice this up.
Yeah.
What do we do to throw it in? Let's throw some incest in. And it's like, what is going on with this family? Incest. More incest? Like,
It's
like,
happening a lot in TV, and I'm always like,
I
what
know.
the hell,
That's why I
guys?
was dying laughing as you mentioned. I was like, of course, there's gonna be more incest. It's like, let's make it weird. I don't know. That's their kid, and that I don't know. Like,
Just wait till you read VC Andrews, then like you're gonna just die laughing. I'm telling you right now.
And we've not heard Jason Blossom talk at all in this series yet.
No,
That's why I always
really?
worry, like, have we not? Because, like, the first time he talks is going to be, like, some terrible voice you don't expect coming out of us. Like,
No, what if he's like high pitch? Hi, guys.
I think, by the way, actually, I mentioned this earlier, but I think next week I'm going to be on Screen Junkies TV Fights, and I think there's a chance that I'll be fighting against a Riverdale cast member. I'm not going to go on record and say like who, because I'm still unconfirmed. I don't want to be
It feels like it's a very much on the record statement.
that person, but I had heard a rumor that was maybe a thing that was going to happen. So
He heard a rumor.
yeah, so maybe I'll tweet about it. Follow me on Twitter if you guys want to know what's going on with that at Ben Bateman Media.
No, but like, did you guys notice like during the opening scenes with Jason, like and Polly, like they kind of like the background was all decked out in like black and white, but they were the only thing in color, kind of. Like if that makes sense.
It's like a Pleasantville kind of thing?
Yeah, basically. Like
Okay,
I was getting
no.
like a half little.
No, I need to
Pleasantville vibe.
rewatch it. There was like, it was a very specific stuff this episode that I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to rewatch this 3
Because
times.
like even Jughead was like sitting in a booth behind him, but they were just so bright. Like he's like
Right.
this dark little narrator in the background, but like these two characters are so bright with color. Like you're just drawn to it. And just like I love that taking what they did with this episode.
Sweet, yeah. Cool. Good stuff. Guys.
What?
No.
They just like have their own jokes. They like look at each other and like, you got that one, and he's like, nope.
I don't even think that's true.
No.
I think it's true.
I just can't
No?
help but look into these eyes. It's just like
No, I don't think that's true.
Just
at all.
dive into those.
I can't help but laugh sometimes at this panel. It's just a fun panel. It makes me laugh. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been another episode of AfterBuzz TV, the after show for Riverdale, and we love talking Riverdale. We're back for a while now.
Yay!
I don't think there's any more hiati until the end of the season.
Better
we're
not
in.
be, or else I'll lose my, you know what.
Yeah. If
We're
you
like
want
5 episodes down.
yeah, I think right. Like this is 8, and there's 14, so we have 6 left.
13.
13? Okay, there's 13. Where can the folks find you, starting with Mr. Frank Moran?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie. I'll be doing live feeds of my insane push-up routines as I'm getting ready for 7 days straight until we're back here next Thursday night at 10 o'clock.
He's using the Muscle Milk Gold, the black bottle.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Hey guys, I'm Chae Jones. You can find me at @RealChae Jones on Twitter and Instagram.
You guys can find me, Sam Davidson, SamDavidsonEntertainment.com, Twitter and Instagram at SameD43, and don't forget to check out Anchor. Ben and I both have channels on Anchor, and it's super fun, so just check it out.
Yeah, you guys, you can find me at Ben Bateman Media on Twitter and Instagram. I have actually 2 Anchor stations now.
I know, you do.
Yeah, I'm doing one about Magic the Gathering called 10 Minutes of Magic every single day, and one about movies called Fist Pump Film Club, which is just the most awesome things about movies, in my opinion. So find them on Anchor, and it's a great app. It's Twitter meets radio, and it's the most fun. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.